Oh, hey, welcome to another edition of the Double Shot. Jake Skorheim, Jason Rantz. He's got a history lesson today, and I do love some good history.
Well, you're going to like this one. All right. Do you know who Douglas Brunt is?
So I know who Douglas Brunt is.
The audience might not know who Douglas Brunt is.
Know.
Okay,
yeah.
So Douglas Brunt is an author. He's written a bunch of really good books.
Great books.
But he is also the husband of Megyn Kelly.
I know.
Yeah, no, you know that, but the audience may not know that. But he has this really interesting book that I'm reading out right now, and it's called The Mysterious Case of Rudolf Diesel. I didn't know who Rudolf Diesel was, but I knew the last name Diesel.
Like diesel, like gas?
Diesel engines.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Diesel engines. So he invents the diesel engines. So like the late 1800s, he invents this diesel engine. Everybody else is using steam at the time. And it's all takes place before World War I because he mysteriously disappears. And so that's what the book is kind of building up to. I haven't finished it yet, so I don't actually know how it ends. But
he dies.
Well, he does die, but he disappears, so nobody really knows. And he disappears off of a ship. It's like really confusing.
Huh.
But all his contemporaries during that time, all these like massive like titans of industry, you've got Rockefellers, you've got the Rothschilds, all these different people who made all this money.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Nobel family. Do you remember the Nobel Prize?
That one I knew.
Yes. So this is the interesting bit of history. I'm not just like pumping the book, although it is a great book. You should read it. He has this footnote in the book about Alfred Nobel. Now, I didn't know anything about Alfred Nobel other than Nobel Prize, Nobel Peace Prize. I would assume, do you know anything about the Nobel Peace Prize?
I think he's a racist.
I don't know anything about that, but I don't think that's the case. But do you know who Alfred Nobel was? Do you know anything about how he made his money?
No,
I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you. So he comes up with the Nobel Peace Prize because he reads accidentally about his death. Obviously, he was not dead. The newspaper had incorrectly reported his brother, whose name was Ludwig, one of the three Nobel brothers, all super successful. They made their fortune when they were alive in oil, and Alfred created dynamite. And so
I did hear
that. So you know about the dynamite.
I've heard that before.
So munitions and all these like implements of war and things like that.
So ironic.
So ironic. So he's just like humming along, living his life, happy as a clam. And he reads about his death, and this freaks him out because in the obituary, and again, this is all in the footnote in Douglas Brunt's really great book. But in his he reads this obituary, and they refer to him as a merchant of death, and he's like, whoa! And they're like, this guy who created dynamite, all these munitions things, he is responsible for all this incredible loss of life, and he was so scared by this like posthumous depiction of his life that he goes and he changes his will. And he says, all of my money when I die, I want to go to establish a foundation which betters life. And so he establishes the Nobel Peace Prize, which at the time was 5 awards. It's now up to 6, which again, I didn't even know that. So they award it to anybody in the previous year who's like to the betterment of humankind or something. But only because they had incorrectly reported that he was dead, and he wasn't actually dead. It was his brother. Isn't that crazy?
I would argue the author or the editor who made the mistake is deserving of a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. Now I don't know who that person is, and they've probably been dead for a long time, so they wouldn't
a book on that.
They wouldn't really care.
You learned that in a footnote?
That's in one footnote.
So
that's how interesting this book is.
Yeah. Me, because I, as an author, I didn't write.
Do you think people read the footnotes?
No.
Yeah, they do.
No, I told my editor I wanted to just put like little hidden Easter eggs in there.
Footnotes are where the author can like. You should sneak stuff in. Your next book, you should sneak stuff into the footnotes.
I did sneak it into some. It wasn't into the endnotes though.
Yeah. Okay.
I snuck something in. If you look at the first letters of each paragraph, it spells a message.
Oh, does it really? Well,
you'll have to purchase the book.
A little thing to look for, and that is What's Killing America.
People who hide things in their books,
which you can find on Amazon or wherever fine books are sold.
And Dynamite Kills.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.